Congregation Bible Study, September 22nd to 28th, 2025 analysis with question and answer. Let's start by answering the questions from the paragraphs. Let's begin by analyzing Lesson 20. The next 6 plagues. We now answer the following questions. What plagues did Jehovah cause next? Jehovah next caused 6 powerful plagues. Swarms of biting flies, a deadly disease that killed Egypt's livestock, painful boils on the skin, a violent storm of hail and fire, a massive swarm of locusts that devoured every plant left, and finally, complete darkness that lasted for 3 days. Each of these plagues struck the Egyptians directly, while the Israelites in the land of Goshen were completely unharmed. Let's move on to the next question. How were they different from the first 3 plagues? These plagues were different because, starting with the 4th, Jehovah made a clear distinction between his people and the Egyptians. None of the plagues harmed the Israelites, showing that Jehovah protects those who are loyal to him. Also, these later plagues were more intense and destructive, affecting Egypt's health, economy, and even their ability to function as a nation. This made it clear that Jehovah was not just powerful, but also just and loyal to his people. Let's move on to the next question. What does this teach us about Jehovah? This account teaches us that Jehovah is powerful, patient, and loyal to his people. He controls nature and uses it to carry out his will, as seen in how each plague struck Egypt exactly as he said it would. At the same time, he made a clear distinction between those who serve him and those who oppose him, protecting the Israelites while punishing the Egyptians. It also shows that Jehovah gives people chances to change, like he did with Pharaoh, but he will act firmly when his name and his people are being mistreated. Next question. What practical lessons can we learn? One lesson is the danger of being stubborn like Pharaoh. He agreed to obey only when suffering, but quickly went back on his word. That shows the importance of obeying Jehovah from the heart, not just under pressure. We also learn that Jehovah notices those who are faithful and can protect us even when others around us are suffering. Finally, this account strengthens our faith that Jehovah always keeps his promises and will rescue his people at the right time, just as he did in Egypt. Now we move on to the analysis of Lesson 21, the first 3 plagues. First question, what was the 10th plague? At midnight, Jehovah sent his angel to strike down the firstborn sons in every Egyptian household, from the son of Pharaoh to the son of the lowliest slave. In homes where there was no blood on the doorframe, the firstborn died. But in the homes of the Israelites, who obeyed Jehovah's instructions and marked their doors with the blood of a lamb, no one was harmed. This final plague was the most devastating, and it broke Pharaoh's resistance. He finally allowed the Israelites to leave Egypt and worship Jehovah. It was through this act of judgment that Jehovah brought freedom to his people. Next question. What did the Israelites have to do to protect themselves from that plague? To protect themselves from the 10th plague, the Israelites had to follow Jehovah's instructions exactly. Each family had to select a 1-year-old lamb or young goat without defects, slaughter it, and apply some of its blood to the doorposts and the top frame of their house. Then they had to roast the meat and eat it with unleavened bread, dressed and ready to leave Egypt that very night. The blood on the door served as a sign of faith and obedience. When Jehovah's angel saw the blood, he would pass over that house, sparing the firstborn inside. This act of obedience saved lives and showed the importance of listening carefully to Jehovah's direction. Let's move on to the next question. What does this teach us about Jehovah? Even while executing a severe judgment against Egypt, he made a clear distinction between the obedient and the disobedient. He provided a specific way for his people to be protected, and those who followed his instructions were kept safe. This account reassures us that Jehovah notices those who serve him and always fulfills his promises to protect and deliver them. Next question. What practical lessons can we learn? The Israelites were protected not just because they were God's people, but because they acted on his instructions without delay or alteration. This teaches us to trust Jehovah completely and show our faith through obedient actions. We also learn the value of being spiritually prepared. The Israelites had to eat the meal dressed and ready to leave. Likewise, we should always be spiritually alert and ready to respond when Jehovah directs us, especially as we near the end of this system.